What's going on, everyone? So, from season 4, especially after they left us on that entire just cluster of chaos and cliffhanger at the end of season 3, where, quick spoilers, 3, 2, 1. All right, well, Jim ends up getting killed by the man in yellow, just, right? And you see Julie, who clearly looks different hair, coming back after discovering basically time travel, right? To summarize it. And we'll see how that resolves and how that ends up playing out on top of, Tabitha ends up discovering the past and realizing that, hey, I was the parent, I was the mother, I was the what, right? So now you have all of these things unraveling in FROMVILLE and all this new information and all these things that we have to unpack. Now we know we're getting at least 2 more seasons, season 4 and season 5, right? That was announced like a year ago now at this point, but we're all still waiting around for season 4. And it's incredibly frustrating because, look, huge fan of the show. Many of you I know are as well. And we want it. We don't want to wait around, right? So it's like, hey, is it coming out this year? Is it coming out next year? Well, we got confirmation. So originally, the idea was that, hey, maybe we might be able to get it out at the end of 2025, because by the time it ends, once we get to November, that's basically, it would be a year. So you'd be able to get it a year after the end of season 3. Well, now you fast forward and we got the reports that, no, it is very unlikely that is going to come out this year, more likely early in 2026. So they are still filming but it is expected to be wrapped up sometime in November. The showrunners said that, like, hey, we would love to get it out this year, but realistically speaking, the turnover from November, right, into middle to end of November to like, oh, now it's releasing and coming out in December is a bit unrealistic. So again, he didn't give us exact, like, hey, we'll be out in February, right? Like, but expect early 2026. If it comes out, and I talked about this, months ago now, right? Like, if it comes out in like January or February of 2026, I think that's fine, because you'd only be about 14 months removed from the original. Right? My concern is that if it comes out and you start getting into March and April, and now it's like it's been a year and a half from the time it's came out, right? And here's the problem, right? Because a lot of people look at shows like Stranger Things and this long hiatus, and there's been a lot of shows that have had like years off, right? A handful of years off, right? But it's different when you're on like a Netflix, right, where everybody has it. So like they're not worried about marketing and finding new people and doing all these other things, right? Like they could release a new season 10 years later, and at some point somebody's going to see it and they're going to go, oh, hey, click. And they're going to click on, the episode, and they're going to watch it, right? And they're going to binge watch and all that. Oh, I love this show. Man, this show came out 5 years ago. It doesn't matter. But when you're talking about Epics and all these other, the platforms that don't have as big of an audience, and you have this hit show, you want to keep the fire going. You want to keep the blaze going. You don't want to have this hiatus where people forget about it. And it's gained more and more momentum, more and more traction each season, right? So you have this snowball effect that is, tumbling down a hill, and instead of capitalizing and maximizing it, you're now kind of just stalling it, holding it up, and then hoping that it goes back down the hill just as fast. And you killed its momentum. Right? So yes, maybe it does regain that speed and that momentum, and it'll be fun and it'll be worked out. Myself and many other content creators, we're going to do our best to try to generate and draw up the buzz, because, I love the show. I want to see the show. I want to see 10 seasons if they can. Obviously, if it makes sense. You see a lot of shows where it's like, all right, they've overstayed their welcome. It's time to wrap it up here. But, I'm hopeful that they can kind of continue to tell this story, right? Like at some point we're going to have to get some answers, right? At some point we're going to have to get some information, because it's just like they'll answer 2 or 3 things and then open up a door for another 5 or 6. And I love the mystery element of it, But you can also lose an audience because there's just too many things that start to go on, and things start getting too convoluted, and then people start losing track of things, and then things that are important don't get answered because you end up forgetting about them, or they become less important than the new storyline that you're drawing up and all that stuff. So I have my concerns about that, right? But it turns out that, again, in the same report, same article, that we are going to get information on like how they ended up there, right? Why they're there. Obviously, we're starting to unravel that and why they're there and the whole backstory and stuff. But we're supposed to get the information about FROMVILLE and why they are regularly there. And as quoted, that just because they understand doesn't mean that it'll make it any easier for them to get out. So we should be unraveling this season kind of the information on FROMVILLE, where it comes from, how the people ended up there, this, that, and the other. Like, we should be getting all the details we've been kind of yearning for over these last few seasons. We're supposed to start to dig up some of that stuff, but it's not going to change them needing and trying to come up with ways to get out, right? Now you have the man in yellow who is starting to get hands-on, and does he just kind of pillage through everybody? I mean, he could easily just put an end to this and make them start over if he wanted to, right? So we're gonna have to unravel and kind of see, like, because again, FROMVILLE clearly has these rules, these regulations, these things that these confines, right? That the town people and even the monsters, right? The monsters can't really break the rules. They have to stay within their confines, right? Does the man in yellow have the same type of confines, right? Like, are there restrictions and ways that he can operate, right? Is he really the grand boss, or is there somebody else above him, right? Like, again, we're going to start to really kind of understand, unravel, and start to grasp all this stuff, which is great. I want the details. But again, it's just, my concern is that, as we move into seasons, right? Because again, there's supposed to be 2 more seasons. If it's like 4 or 5 years from now, like that could become a dilemma. I want them to keep going, but they need to make sure that they're doing a better job of like kind of lining things up. I'm sure that they didn't anticipate this doing as well as it has, right? I mean, obviously you have your optimism. You're like, hey man, this is a really good show. Maybe it could be something, but it's turned into like, hey, like people love this show. I mean, anytime I talk about it, like I get tons of, my live streams, everything. Like, there's a lot of people that really enjoy and love the show. And I'm somebody that's newer in the From space, at least talking. I watched the show, it's picked it up in season 2. I watched season 1, but I started when season 2 came out. So, I wasn't like even one of the original people. And then last year is when I started talking about the show on the channel. But, we'll see how kind of things play out and whatnot. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I worry about the loss of momentum. But I will do my best, especially as we inch closer and we get new information. It's kind of hard. I'll start picking up the theories and all that stuff. So leave me kind of your favorite ideas and theories down in the comments. I'll start picking up those videos and making those theory videos. Again, a lot of people really enjoyed those. We'll talk about those as we inch closer to the upcoming season. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. As always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.